Morning, folks. For something a little bit different this morning, you've got my commute to work. Temperature is 62 degrees. Time is now 6:05, and this is the first time I'm vlogging my early morning commute to the office, the new office. I did make a vlog before of my commute to the old office, but we've since moved into a new building in the Springwoods Village, and which is closer to the woodlands. It is still spring, but it's closer to the woodlands. And since I've got my new microphone rigged up in my helmet, I decided, hey, let's do a video and test the audio out. Now, we won't get up to highway speeds today because we're not going on the highway. So it's not a full test in the sense that we won't get as much wind blast, to see how the microphone handles the wind. But I'll be able to tell from this, or predict from this, how the microphone will perform at highway speeds. I've got my chin vent closed, and so it's probably as quiet, almost as quiet as it's going to get. I don't have my other vents closed, they're all open, and my visor is cracked. A little bit cool on the legs this morning. It's 62 degrees, but there's a little bit of an edge. But today it's going to go up to like 70, mid-70s. So 70. Yesterday was I rode home, and it was 73 degrees at 5 o'clock. So today it's going to be about the same, if not slightly higher. We'll see how it goes. Another reason why I wanted to do this vlog is to test again the performance of this Sony in the night. The last time I vlogged going to work, it was using the Prism. This Sony supposedly has much better low light capabilities. Microphone is not to the corner of my mouth as before, but it's right in front, just off to the right side a little bit, off of dead center. So that will also affect the sound that you're hearing. But it's much better because I'm not kind of rubbing against it every time I put my helmet on, And last time it used to kind of like flop around as and I putting my helmet on, my mouth would drag across the microphone, and while I'm riding I'd be playing with the microphone at the corner of my mouth, kind of distracting. This one here, my top lip is barely touching the microphone occasionally, so much more comfortable. Just lock the visor down to give just a little bit more resistance to the air blast. Not a heck of a lot, I'm sure. Sometimes in the mornings you get all the lights. They're kind of synchronized, but there's no guarantee. But one thing that's for sure A lot of the people that drive to work at this time of the day, they seem to be in a fog. Today's supposed to be quite foggy actually, and to the west of Houston there's a lot of fog, but not where we are, thankfully. So I was worried that there was going to be a foggy ride for this vlog, but no, it's just as clear as normal. What is this? Truck with construction material. Now let's see who's gonna pull out in front. Okay. So far so good. Speeds are almost at my target speed. I like to test vlogging setups up to about 75 miles an hour, because that's usually my cruising speed on the highway if I'm long distance riding, which is when I might also be doing some recording. So 75, if you can hear me clearly and nice, hear me clearly at 75 miles an hour or 80 miles an hour, then I'm happy. We're not going to get to those speeds here because the speed limit is 45, but we did get a little bit above that just now, and so we should be able to extrapolate from that the likely performance at highway speeds. One thing I like about this Sony is that when I'm vlogging with this camera, I can hear the bike's exhaust sound comes through on the footage nicer than it does when I'm using the Prism. For some reason, it's picked up better. Oh God! Today's the first day of school after the winter break, and the school buses are out. I guess this guy can only see up as far as the tip of his nose. He can't see that the speed does not support him going in the left lane because he's going to run into the bus. Yeah, some of these drivers, they only can see one car ahead, and that's it. No powers of anticipation, and they don't look further than the car that's just in front of them. So as a result, they make a lot of stupid decisions and put other people's lives in danger. This is about as dark as it gets during the night. It probably gets just a tad darker early in the morning, 2-3 o'clock, I guess. But this is pretty much it. And up the road there are no street lights, so it's going to be a little bit darker in the road ahead. And good to have the Denalis on, even though they're at 50% as I ride with my low beams. Plenty bright. See what I mean? Pretty dark here. But it's only a small stretch. Oh, some wet roads. And get some spots on the bike. Oh well. I haven't washed this bike in probably 3 weeks, so can't complain. Due for a wash. Good to keep the bike clean. How often do you wash your bike? If you like, you can leave a comment below. I tend to wash my bike when the water spots get a little bit too noticeable. On this gray bike, I don't know, this gray bike seems to show up all the water spots. So, it's kind of easy to tell when she needs a wash. Needless to say, I don't ever go off in the mud, so it never gets to that degree of dirt. And here in Houston, we don't get too much rain, actually. So as a result, it doesn't get so many water spots or rain mess. So you can go longer times between washings. I find that washing the bike more regularly allows you to keep an eye on the finish and how the bike is doing, what parts might be deteriorating. It also seems to make the bike run better. It's all psychological, of course, but whenever you wash the bike and you go for a ride afterwards, it seems to run a little bit better. All in your mind. Just like when you're doing an oil change. Oh man, that one, it shouldn't really make that much of a difference, but it does. You can actually feel that. But riding a clean bike, that's more in your mind. This gas station here has got some of the best gas prices in Houston. As you can see, regular gas is like $1.59. You can get it as low as $1.59, which is really good. So this is entering Springwoods Village, where the new office is. This is all new roads here, and we moved in here in November, the start of November of 2018. So in a way, it's still new to us and still getting accustomed to the roads and to the office building. Yesterday was the formal ribbon cutting, declaring the office open. We had an open house where some employees brought their families and so on to see where they work. And so, yeah, we were in the old building for I don't know how long, probably 25 years. And this new one here hopefully will take us at least another 25 years. We'll see. It's got a parking. The only downside to this building is the parking garage. The parking garage is a modern parking garage, and I tend to think that the parking spots are a little bit small. They're kind of like, all for cars. But here in Texas, a lot of us drive trucks, including myself. And there's not enough motorcycle spots. And so, I don't know. And then a lot of the parking garage is on a slope. Here we go. It's on a slope, so it's not so motorcycle friendly. but there are some motorcycle spots, and I just don't like them. Well, when I first came here, there was only one, and it was on a slope. Let's see. Yesterday I parked in a reserved spot by mistake. And I got a little bit of flack from the garage police. I'll show you. I think I parked on the wrong level. In the old building we only had one level. See, I parked in that spot over to the right, and that's reserved. And what happened was, I believe, I parked one level down. So instead of parking on the 5th floor, instead of parking on the fifth floor, I parked on the 3rd. I believe on the 5th floor, that same spot, there is nobody, and this is where I usually park, and there's no reserved spots. So I have to go and apologize to my friend. I parked one level down and without looking, and it's a reserved spot, but this is a spot I usually park in, and it's not reserved. So, mistake. First day riding the bike back yesterday. So that's my commute, and this is what I do every day. Coming into the new building, parking in the new parking lot, and as you can see, a lot of the parking lot there is sloped, but this part here is level, and it's off to the side, so that's good. If there's a lot of rain and the rain is falling sideways, I guess the rain could come through the side. There's a mesh there, so it'll stop a lot of the rain, but still. If I were parked where that white Camaro is parked, I'd get even more rain. But so this spot, I think, is pretty ideal. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for now. So until the next video, maybe it's this afternoon, maybe I'll record the commute home. So until then, keep the shiny side up and stay safe on the road. Talk to you later.